Okay guys, so here you can see all the parts of the crossbow. Pretty simple thing actually. We're gonna start with the rolling pin right here. It's made out of plywood, which is not 100% historically accurate. What they would use back in the day is antler or bone maybe, or some kind of a metal actually, like brass or bronze for the heavier crossbows. But I decided to use plywood because it's cheap and easy to work with. I added this piece of steel right here to make it more durable. This is the point where the trigger touches the rolling pin. I hope you can see that. Okay, here we have the trigger, and here we have the prod. It's made out of yew. It's about 100 centimeters long actually, and as you can see, on one end there are two grooves for the string. I'm gonna explain later why there are two of them. The other end has just one. Then of course we need the string for the prod. And last but not least, we have the body of the crossbow. It's made out of cherry. It's pretty heavy actually. And we can see the holes for the steel pins. The rolling pin goes right here. Here's the hole for it. Here's the hole for the trigger. It goes right here. This is the place for the prod, and this hole is meant for strings that are used to hold the prod in place. And actually there's one more groove right here. It's not that common, but it's very useful. Again, I'm gonna explain later how you use that. It's about 80 centimeters long, not taking the stirrup in account. And then we have some wooden wedges right here and some steel pins that are used to hold the crossbow together. Alright, so that's all the parts. Now it's time to put it all together. I'm gonna show you how the trigger mechanism works, because it's easier to explain before you put it all together. The rolling pin, or the nut, goes right here. In the finished crossbow, of course, it's hidden inside, but I'm gonna show it like this so you can see how it works. Then we have the trigger, which goes in through here. But again, before I do that, I'm gonna show it to you how the trigger works. So it goes inside, the steel pin goes through here, right here. Okay, so this is the mechanism. Very easy. The later crossbows use some springs and other gadgets, but I don't use that. To keep it simple, all you need is the trigger and the rolling nut and these two steel pins. So, in this position of the trigger, you can see I can't really roll the nut. It doesn't move. But if I set the trigger right here, yes, you can see it rolls. And this is how the mechanism works. So as I said, the rolling nut, the rolling pin goes inside. Then we take this big piece of steel. It goes right here. I'm gonna use a hammer here. Alright, so the nut is in place. As you can see, it moves freely right now. Next, we're gonna take the trigger. The trigger goes in here. And now I have to move it around a little bit. Okay. And it holds it holds in place. So, in this position, you can't move the rolling pin. Right here, it moves freely. But as you can see, we have one more steel pin. That's for the hole right here. Because here the trigger goes too low. It's not very practical to run around with crossbow like this. So we move it back. Then I take the third and the last pin, put it right here, use the hammer again. Okay, and as you can see, the trigger doesn't go that low. This is just about right. And this is the mechanism really. You can't move the rolling pin right now. Now you can. Okay. So now is the time to attach the prod to the stock. It goes right here, like this. And as you can see, there's a lot of space inside. So I use these wedges to hold the prod in place. Okay, that's the prod attached to the body of the crossbow, to the stock. Now it's time to add the string to it. As you can see, the crossbow has two strings right now. The blue one, which is just an accessory string, I'm gonna remove that later. And then the black one, which is the actual string. On one end you can see there's the actual string, the black one, and above it is the blue one, which is going to be removed. On the other end there's the blue one, and it's in the second groove. That's what the groove is for. And the first one is free for the black string to get into. So, in order to string the crossbow, I place my foot in the stirrup, I grab the blue string and I bring it up. I bring it all the way to the groove here. And as you can see, now I can just slide the black string right into the first groove. It's still pretty loose, but once I remove the blue string, it's gonna get the tension. Okay. And as you can see, now the crossbow is stringed, and I can remove the blue string, and the crossbow is ready to shoot. With the crossbow finished, all you have to do is put your foot in the stirrup, move the string up, place the bolt, and shoot it.